Alright folks, let me break it down for you. The Harry Potter universe is at it again stirring the pot, ruffling feathers, and generally causing chaos like only Hogwarts can. Word on the street is that Cillian Murphy's name has popped up in connection with the new HBO series. But hold your hippogriffs, it's not for Voldemort. Nope, they're eyeing him for the role of Professor Quirrell. And if that doesn't already have your wand in a twist, buckle up, because there's more. Rumors are flying faster than a firebolt about who might play Hermione, a 40-year-old Asian bloke, a pregnant girl from Kenya, or some other curveball we didn't see coming. But here's the kicker. Apparently, HBO got spooked by fan outrage and decided to slam the brakes on their woke wagon. Black Snape? Gone. Instead, they're supposedly sticking to the book descriptions this time around. Or so they say. So, grab your butterbeer, mates, because in the next couple of minutes, we're diving headfirst into the latest drama, swirling around the wizarding world, and maybe, just maybe, we'll find a silver lining or two. Let's cut to the good stuff, shall we? On the 21st of January 2025, HBO dropped a bombshell announcement that'll make even the Sorting Hat do a double take. Francesca Gardiner, the brains behind Succession, you know, the show everyone pretends to understand but secretly just binge-watch for the dramas, officially running the show. And her partner in crime? None other than Mark Mylod, the man who turned awkward family dinners into an art form. These two aren't just pulling rabbits out of hats, they're conjuring up magic Hollywood style. Gardiner's track record is cleaner than a house. Elf's Kitchen Zero projects under 7.7 on IMDb. Meanwhile, Mylod's resume reads like a who's who of prestige television. Game of Thrones, Succession, and enough episodes to fill a pensieve. Bottom line? They've got the chops to handle sprawling casts and tangled plots like pros. Better yet, Gardiner herself has promised no funny business, just pure, unadulterated adaptation straight from the books. Oh, and remember that screenwriter who bragged about never reading Harry Potter? Yeah, he's been given the boot. In about a year, we'll finally see how this cauldron brews. But hey, that's where the sunshine ends. Now let's talk casting, because this is where the real fun begins. Jason Isaacs, who played Lucius Malfoy in the original films, dropped a bombshell recently. Apparently, most of the major roles have already been cast, and according to him, they're filled by some incredible actors. He's so confident in the lineup that he's practically ready to bet his wand on their success. But here's the twist. Isaacs also confirmed that the same people who handled casting for the original films are back in the game, including J.K. Rowling herself. Now, before you start thinking it's all sunshine and butterbeer, there's a catch. Back in the day, Rowling had final veto power over casting decisions. Remember Jake Lloyd from Star Wars or Haley Joel Osment from Forrest Gump? Yeah, those were the studio's first picks for Harry. Daniel Radcliffe wasn't even in the top 5 finalists. But thanks to Rowling's contract clause, she got her way. Imagine how different things might have turned out if the studio had won that battle. We'll never know. Fast forward to today, and it's the exact opposite. According to HBO boss Casey Bloys, the studio now has the final say. Is that bad news? Maybe, maybe not. Times have changed. And let's not forget Rowling herself gave us the legendary Black Hermione in the theater production and wrote the scripts for Fantastic Beasts. Oh, and she picked the screenwriters for this series too. Whether that's genius or madness remains to be seen. Let's stick to the facts for now. Speaking of facts, we finally know who's playing Aunt Petunia, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, the Queen of Awkward Charm from Killing Eve and Solo, a Star Wars story. If you squint at her photo, she looks like she walked straight off the pages of the books. This isn't just random trivia significant, because insiders claim HBO has decided to follow the book descriptions to the letter after the backlash over Black Snape and the rumored miscasting of the main trio. Here's the kicker. The original films didn't always stick to the source material. Take Snape, for example. In the books, he's 31 when the story kicks off and dies at 38. Alan Rickman, however, was already 55 when Philosopher's Stone hit theaters. That's where the domino effect started. Rowling insisted on Rickman for Snape, but his age forced everyone else to be aged up to Lily, James, Sirius, and basically the entire Order of the Phoenix. The result? Actors who looked almost twice as old as their book counterparts. Picture a 55-year-old Snape standing next to a 30-year-old Sirius. His supposed pirate wouldn't fly. Even McGonagall got caught in the crossfire. In the books, she's barely in her 50s with only streaks of gray hair. Maggie Smith was 66 in 2001. And suddenly, every actor in the magical world had to grow older just to keep up. It's wild how one casting decision can ripple through an entire universe. Choosing Rickman was a gamble that could have blown up in everyone's faces, with fans ready to crucify Rowling for ruining canon. But as time proved, she was dead right about Snape, and here's the kicker. Her decision paid off big time, 23 years later. Why? Because the series doesn't need to reinvent the wheel to stand out from the film set, just needs to stick to the damn books. Boom. All the actors will be younger, which means the series will feel completely different. Age isn't an issue in Hollywood. Brad Pitt was pushing 40 in Ocean's 11, but looked like he was fresh out of college. Insiders are whispering that sticking closer to the book versions is going to be the series' secret weapon. But hold on, here's where it gets tricky. If we're being honest, Hermione wasn't supposed to be some knockout beauty. Nope, she was more of a plain Jane, a gray mouse who didn't turn heads. Meanwhile, Ginny Weasley and Cho Chang were written as total stunners, turning heads all over Hogwarts. Remember how Harry and Ron didn't see Hermione as a girl at first? She wasn't ugly, but she wasn't exactly lighting up the room either, not until Goblet of Fire, when she decided to shine for one glorious night before reverting back to her bookish self. Meanwhile, Harry in the books had a thing for school beauties like Ginny, who in the films got turned into, well, another mouse. Nothing personal, it's just the rules of the game. No one's supposed to outshine the main heroine. This wasn't about the actress's looks, which are subjective, but about how the characters were styled and directed. Enter the most polished Hermione ever, alongside a drab Ginny and Cho. Cue the flood of fan theories from people who clearly hadn't read the books. Everyone wondered why Harry didn't end up with Hermione, objectively had better odds than Ron. The movies lost a key detail about Harry's personality. He fell for popular girls, not awkward wallflowers. In the books, Harry's a natural leader, clever, cheeky, and occasionally mischievous. In the films, he acts like he's being forced to rebel. Same goes for Ron. So this is both a blessing and a curse for the series creators. On one hand, they've got entirely different characters if they follow canon. On the other hand, one casting choice of frumpy Hermione, or even a single behind-the-scenes photo showing Hermione as a bookworm, and it's game over. Even if Hermione's groomed to perfection, half the fandom will still hate it. Finding balance? That's a Herculean task. As recent events show, jumping straight into woke territory with Black Snape is far worse, especially since the books leave room for diversity. It's not just Kingsley, Dean Thomas, or Blaise Zabinathar's Hagrid, whose skin color is never mentioned. Maybe HBO's aiming there, even if they've dialed back the wokeness and returned to canon. But after the initial wave of backlash, even Hagrid might not get a free pass. Word count: 462 words. Vertical bar character count: 3,157. All right, folks, that's the lot. You've stuck with us this far, and for that, you've earned my undying gratitude, or at least a virtual pat on the back. If you enjoyed this little dive into the chaos of the wizarding world, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like button like it owes you money, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next bit of cinematic sleuthing. Speaking of which, we've got a corker lined up for you next to deep dive analysis of the latest blockbuster films that'll leave your brain buzzing and your opinions scrambled. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and let's keep the magic alive one reel at a time. Cheers, mates. Until next time.